Hey, people, welcome into the building. Welcome into the building, okay? It is Tuesday, and we got trending topics, and the title is called, What a Mess. What a whole hot mess. What a mess. And, what a mess. And on the agenda is Whoopi Goldberg. So Whoopi Goldberg, she's 68. She works over there at The View. And she pretty much said, listen, I can relate to the working class. If I had money, she said, I wouldn't be here working at The View. And what she said is, if I had money like that, I wouldn't be over here working for The View. She would be home chilling. So she's acknowledging that, you know what, maybe she don't have the same struggle as many because maybe her pay is a little bit higher. But at the end of the day, she says she still got to work. So she out here working these streets. But she offended the supermarket industry because she called them pigs. She did a generalization. She called them pigs because she said they're the reason why food prices are so high. But she got to remember that they have to get the food from a supplier. They can't pay $5 for the eggs and then charge you $2 and then pay the workers $15. The math on math. So they don't have a backyard where they're raising pigs and milking cows and getting you the stuff fresh. They got to get it from a supplier. And that supplier has to put it on a truck. And that truck needs gas. And it needs workers. So everybody has to get paid. So she blamed it on the supermarkets in general, and they were hot. They were pissed. It reminds me, remember a long time ago, Oprah Winfrey had to go to trial because I think she said something about the cows and the meat, and all of a sudden nobody was buying beef anymore. It's like, where's the beef? In the beef industry, they sued her. I don't remember how that trial panned out. If you remember, let me know in the chat, but I do know they sued her. Now, I'm not hoping Whoopi gets sued, but I'm just saying they were pissed about her calling them pigs. It's a mess, but we're going to talk about it, okay? Then we got on the agenda Al B. Shore. Al B. Shore is pleading through the social media streets, and Al B. Shore is in my age bracket. He's in the diva age bracket. So Al B. Shore is pleading in these streets, yes he is, for his son Quincy Brown to come back home. He put hashtag free Quincy. I say often over here, you got to raise the kids from birth to 18 if you want them to respect you, acknowledge you, take care of you, and all of the above. You got to acknowledge the kids. You got to raise them. So in 2009, Quincy wrote an open letter to his father, pretty much saying, I wish you was there. I wish I knew you. The only thing I got is your face. And now in 2024, he wants to wrap his mind, meaning Al B. Shore wants to wrap his mind around why Quincy is still acknowledging Diddy as his father, even with all of these wicked charges that Diddy has against him, even all the nasty, filthy things that people are saying about Diddy, Quincy is still calling him Pops. Does that not speak volumes? They're accusing Diddy of unaliving Kim Porter. Kim Porter is Quincy's mama. They're accusing Diddy of violating minors. They're accusing Diddy of arring people, of unaliving people, of arson. And still, Quincy acknowledges Diddy as Pops. Is something about that person that is in your life when you're growing up that you will always remember that was there for you. And the world sees Diddy as one person, but his family, they know maybe Sean Combs. We're hearing about Diddy, Brother Love, Puffy, P. Diddy. They know him as Pops. So I'll be sure he's doing these open pleas in the social media to his son. Do you not have his phone number? Can you not text him? Can you send him an Instagram message? Are you blocked? What's going on? Can you not get to him through somebody say, send a message to my boy? You doing it on the social media? We're going to talk about it. And you wonder why he stood by your side. Now, listen, this is online. You could Google Kim Porter's funeral on YouTube. Diddy spoke, Quincy spoke, and I'll be sure we're standing up on the pulpit, the podium, next to Diddy and Quincy. If you were going to have this open fight for your son, he's in his 30s now. This open public fight. Why not have that same open public fight from birth to 18? We got stuff to talk about tonight. Y'all gonna buckle your seatbelt? The train may get a little shaky, but I want you to hold on tight. And I want you to not catch feelings, but catch the train. Because we got to have grown folk talk. I'm going to take you back to 2009 when Quincy wrote a letter to Al B. Shore. He's in his 30s now. And you're emotional because he is still acknowledging Diddy as Pops. What do you want him to do? We're going to talk about it. Then we're going to talk about this Ray J versus Jamal Bryant. Ray J has been Ray J-ing for a minute now. Yes, he has. Something is amiss. Something is going on. He's crying out for help. And I want y'all to understand, whether you are a child or adult, you could be crying out for help. He's crying out for help. Yeah, crying out for help. And he's been doing it for a minute now. He got into a fight after some Zeus thing. Remember, I guess him and the guy from Zeus almost got into a fight. He got into a fight with Diddy's sons. And now he's in a verbal fight with Jamal Bryant. Do we see a pattern? The breadcrumbs are following a straight line. It's different individuals and it's a fight, but it's Ray J is the study person in the situation. You remember the Zeus thing was not too long ago. Then you got the Diddy Sons thing at the Halloween party. Now you got him having an issue with Jamal Bryant. And yes, he also said somebody tried to pow him. But it's a pattern. Something is amiss. And so he pretty much told Jamal Bryant, don't you dare put the interview out that I did at your platform. And Jamal Bryant responded, and in his response, it was like he said, we already talked about this. I told you I was going to cut some things out, but now you doing verbal threats on a platform. He's like, whoa. Talking about a woo. Watch the words in the chat, y'all. Watch the words in the chat. And yeah, it's easy to accuse Diddy boys of trying to pow you, but let's be clear. He has many people that got an issue with him. And I personally think the boys would be foolish. Not saying they didn't. I think they would be foolish. And Quentin, I'm with you on that. I don't believe either. No police reports, no news coverage, no nothing. I don't believe it either, Quentin. I'm with you. I don't. But you know what? And if it was, why is nobody in Hollywood ever go to the cops? It's called 911. It's called a police report. So we heard nowhere else except Ray J mouth that somebody tried to come and pow him. And remember, Ray J allegedly always carries a little something himself. I hear you, A. James, and that's why we got to talk, and I love you. I love you, but that's why we got to talk. Now, y'all know you always come against me, and it's cool. She said, sorry, Diva, I stand with Al. Why the man stole his girl and baby? He was in his 20s. We beat him for not being there. Now he's standing for his son and his mother, and we still complaining. I'm complaining because he's a day late and $1 short. He a day late and $1 short. When his son wrote the letter in 2009, where was the fight? Let me tell you something. I got one kid. And I'm going to run after my kid into my last breath. Yeah, well, what's wrong? What's the matter? Why you ain't talking to me? What's going on? Let's talk. Come on, Quentin, you better talk. He said, sorry, Al knew who Diddy was, and he still let Diddy raise his child. He said, nah. I'm with you, Quentin. We on the same train tonight. I'm with you. If you knew the man was a whole monster, but you still let your kid be over there, nah, I ain't doing that. No, I'm not. And listen, if I want to raise my seed and I really love my seed, oh no, it's going to be a dog fight in these streets. You ain't about to take my kid. We ain't doing that. We're not doing that at all. But now that the man behind bars, everybody feels a superpower to run their mouth. He's in his 30s, Al. And how about this? I'm not mad, but why you can't text him? Why you can't DM him on the Instagram? All of these stories and subliminal messages. You close to Kimora? Tell Kimora to speak to him. I don't know something. But I'm going to need you to do better. And if you are going to write these open messages to him, let the open message say, I love you. I will always be here for you. You consider Diddy your pops. I ain't mad at you. The man raised you from whatever to 18. He gave you XYZ. He fed you. I get it. But just know this. I love you too. And whenever you're ready, I'm here. Not hashtag free Quincy. He's 30 something. Frequency. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. Y'all ready? Y'all know what I need in the chat. I need a what, y'all? I need a choo-choo. Hold aboard, everybody. It is Trending Topics Tuesday, and we got stuff to talk about. The title is called What a Mess. Whoopi Goldberg, she got the people coming for her neck. Al be showing his public pleas to his son Quincy. And Ray J versus Jamal Bryant. I want Ray J mother to rise up, to go embrace her son, to pull him off these streets. You gave birth to him. You got a right to still talk to him, no matter how old he is. He's out in these streets and he's being reckless, and that's an understatement. He got kids. He got 2 kids, a boy and a girl. And we do not need to see, whether it's in the hip-hop world, the R&B world, where the nonsense needs to stop. We need no more violence. He's being reckless right now. He needs help. Brandy, come get your brother. Somebody hashtag Brandy, come get your brother. What's their mother name? Come get your son. He needs help. Don't wait until it's too late and say, wish I shoulda, coulda, woulda. Come get him now. We're going to talk about it. Let me bring the people on in the building. Hey, Julius. Hey, Leo. Hey, Katrina. Hey, Wayne.
Hey, everybody. Hit the
Hey,
like
David.
button.
Hey.
Hello,
Okay.
everyone.
Diva.
Happy Taco Tuesday.
All
Choo,
right.
choo, choo.
Choo, choo, choo. All right, we're going to get right into this story. And I think, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and I'll start with Whoopi Goldberg. Whoopi Goldberg, a lot of people, they pissing the people off, right? I understand what Whoopi is saying, but see, here's the thing. Let me tell you something. Being live TV is not easy, because once something slip out your mouth, you can't take it back. If they recording your show and you say something and you think about it, you can be like, oops, you know what? When I said in segment 2, can you please delete that, because the people going to get pissed. I want you to cut that out. But when you live, and it is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. So you can't take it back. So let me go ahead and share screen. Let's get into this Whoopi Goldberg story. So Whoopi Goldberg admits she lead the View if she had more money. She said, I work for a living. Sometimes we have this idea when we see the celebrities, we just automatically think they just have so much money, right? And when we hear that maybe they're a little hungry, or they're homeless, or they don't have a car, or they don't have this, we're shocked. We're like, how are you on our TV every day and you broke? You know, so we don't get that. But, you know, Whoopi is keeping it 100. She's 68, and she said, if I had it, I would not be here. I would not be working. But she said she got a family to take care of. She got a daughter. She got a granddaughter. She got a great-granddaughter. And on that note, she has to continue to work. I'm going to play that little piece for you as soon as it catches up. So Whoopi Goldberg has a confession. The 68-year-old revealed on Tuesday's episode of The View that she relates to the struggles of the working class. I appreciate that people are having a hard time. She said, me too. I work for a living, Goldberg said, following a hot topic segment surrounding Donald Trump's second term presidency. I said pregnancy. Oh, my God. She said, the sister act star addressed the studio on explaining, if I had all the money in the world, I would not be here. Okay, so I'm working, you know. Okay, so here it is. Let me just go to it.
They better start getting people who are going to run again in 4 years. They better start getting known, particularly in the swing states, in addition to the primary states.
I'm sorry, when you have one candidate who has been running for 12 years, who lies and changes things, I appreciate that people are having a hard time. Me too.
Yeah.
I work for a living. If I had all the money in the world, I would not be here. Okay? So I'm a working person.
All right, so she's addressing the fact that, listen, she's pretty much like the average other person that's working. She has to work too, right? So the sister had star addressed the studio audience, explaining, if I had all the money in the world, I would not be here. Okay, so I'm a working person, you know. My kid has to feed her family. My great granddaughter has to be fed by her family. I know it's hard out there, she continued. I love what Alessandria did. Yay. We talk to people all the time who say, this is what's bothering me. But the thing that's bothering everybody should not be the thing that puts 85% of the other people in danger. I think that's what we're saying. Goldberg is currently the longest running permanent co-host on the show since joining the program in 2007. That's a long time. The comedian remarks on the heels of the grocery store owners clapping back. Actor Goldberg called them pigs over food inflation. The host claimed the folks that own the groceries are pigs. I hate when it does that. 1 second. Are pigs, as she blamed them for the rising prices at supermarkets on last Thursday's show. The episode aired live just 1 day after Trump won the presidential election by hammering on inflation during his campaign. Your pocketbook is bad, not because the Bidens did anything, not because the economy is bad. Your grocery bills are what they are because the folks that own groceries are pigs, Goldberg said. The National Grocers Association, which represents more than 21,000 stores nationwide, objected in a letter obtained by the Post to Bryant Tita, the executive producer of The View. We are deeply troubled by these remarks, referring to people who own grocery stores as pigs, according to the letter from the NGA chief executive, Greg. The trade group said grocery stores operate on razor-thin profit margins of between 1% and 2% and are misunderstood as a cause of food inflation. Some people who are driven by this rhetoric even end up committing violent crimes against retail workers. Statements that falsely depict grocers as gouging not only exacerbate these tensions, but also risk further harm to those frontline workers who have continued to serve the public through challenging times, stated the letter. Food inflation is a result of broader economic issues, including raising labor costs, the people said. We are totally outraged by the comments. Who owns two associate stores in Rosedale, Queens, and Brownsville, Brooklyn, and is co-president of Associate Supermarket Group, told the Post. She confessed that the clip of Goldberg's comment went viral in the grocery community, and many felt the family-owned businesses were being targeted by a celebrity who is inciting hate against the employees. Grocers are paying higher prices from manufacturers. It shows a lack of understanding of what's going on with the economy, she concluded. For us to receive this kind of attack from a public figure is totally unacceptable. Whew. You know, Whoopi has gotten in trouble a lot over her comments on The View. What do you think about this situation, Julius?
Grocery prices are ridiculous. So they want to say, oh, because of manufacturing and everything else, it's price gouging. The same thing when gas was so high. Whoopi wasn't talking about the employees in the store. She was talking about the ones who are in charge of the pricing, the corporate big heads. That's who she was talking about. And they can't stand the fact that they was called out onto the carpet and told about themselves. So again, just like with the gas, price gouging is a problem. That's what was being called out. If you don't want to be called out, if you don't want to be held accountable, quit doing the price gouging. It's simple. She said she told no lies. And when she is in the wrong, I will call her on it. But this here, I can agree with it. Hit the like button, y'all.
Thank you. Leo, your thoughts?
Today, I just read an article about 4 companies in North Carolina that were prosecuted for price gouging.
Woo!
And yeah, it was like Family Dollar and Dollar General and some other places, some local markets in North Carolina that were price gouging and the fine, and they had to pay fines, and it was penance. It was like $10,000 each company. So it wasn't they didn't break the bank on them, but it just showed that is something that is actually happening. And I think we are moving in an era where Whoopi gonna have to be very careful of the things that she says. She's going to retire. We are moving in an era where she's going to have to be very careful about the things that she says. I don't think she was coming from a place of malice. I think she was coming from a place of reality. But the fact that she called them pigs made it so blanket that the mom and pop in the area is saying, you're talking about me.
Right.
And that's where she's made her mistake. If there's a company that's been prosecuted and they have won, the prosecution has won, then speak on that company. Don't speak on in general terms, because the truth of the matter is many injustices that go on in our society cannot be spoken on general terms anymore, because you will be held accountable. And so that's her thing. She's always spoken outspokenly, but that's not the era that we're in any longer. People need to be very careful of their words, because the structures of media is changing, and they're changing fast, and it's going to be changing even faster after January 21st. So she needs to be careful, and I hope she has PR people who are taking care of her, the network. She needs to work, and she needs to pay attention. According to her words, she needs to work, and so she needs people helping her to pay attention to the things that you say, because you need to speak truth to power. But in this particular moment, you need to be speaking truth to facts. And that's what's more important.
Yeah, you said a word right there, Leo. You are correct. Dustin, your thoughts?
David, I think Whoopi Goldberg should be put on pause for this. She's been put on pause for other things she said before, and I think this is just another example that she needs to be put on pause for a while, because she needs to think about what she just said. That was very disrespectful, in my opinion, David. And people are just trying to get by in this day and age. I understand that things have changed. Has changed a lot over the past 4 years, and I think that she needs to take a step back. I think that she needs to be really careful what she says. I do agree with Leo on that one, but I think that the network needs to put her on pause for a couple of weeks, like they have before, because I think she needs to think about what she just said.
Woo, all right, Dustin, I appreciate you. Dustin said put on pause. Yikes. Wade, your thoughts?
my thoughts is if the shoe fits, wear it.
Oh my God.
I mean, she's talking. If you're one of the stores that are gouging, that's who she's talking to.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't think most competent people think she's talking about all grocery stores, and the slang she used, pigs, I wish she would have put in front of it greedy pigs. No, seriously, greedy pigs, so people would understand. Because when you just say pigs, it has more of a, like, racial or whatever, But when somebody says he's a greedy pig, it's a slang people use, greedy pig. And I think that's what she's trying to say. So, I mean, those are the ones she's talking to. And then she said it, okay, all right. But if the shoe fits, wear it. Those are the ones she's talking to. Just like the Leo said, the ones that was gouging the prices, they out there. Okay, obviously, if you go to a store that doesn't gouge price, okay, they're not talking about you, and you're fine with the store you go to, and you have no complaints. But the ones that are gouging, all that, those are the ones she's talking to. Y'all get up off of Whoopi.
Oh shoot, you said get up off of Whoopi. Okay, boom, there it is. Katrina, your thoughts?
I agree with most of everything on the panel. I agree with it. Like Leo said, wrong place, wrong time. But what I do agree with her on, as I've been telling y'all all this time, these corporations been price gouging. These things do not have to be as high as they are. No, Whoopi, like Ryan said, she should have said greedy pigs because that's what they are. They did this to make Biden look bad. That's the reason why they're raising these prices. It ain't because there's a shortage. Like I said, told y'all before, there's no shortage on none of this stuff. There's no shortage. They doing it to make Biden look bad, saying that the economy is inflation and all that type of stuff. And that's a sad thing because I told you when I went, and they're not doing it just on big things, they're doing it on small things. Because I love those super blow pops. And I went to the store one day, it was 25 cents. I went back, it was 50 cents. You didn't go up 10 cents, you didn't go up a nickel, you didn't go up 2 pennies, you went up a whole quarter. That's two blow pops. So why in the world you raising these prices that high? There ain't no shortage on no candy. But you raising this, you ain't go up like 1 cent, you went up a whole quarter. That's two blow pops in one. And like I said, I hated that Whoopi did it the way she did it. But somebody need to call them out. Trump and them and said way worse things than that. And they got away with it. They ain't nobody put them on pause or told them to shut up or whatsoever. He's still saying crazy stuff. And the people that's around him saying crazy stuff. And they're still talking. So Whoopi said it. And I agree with her. They are greedy. They are greedy pigs, as Wayne would say. They are greedy pigs. Because like I said, if you stop shopping at these stores, the people they'll bring the prices and stuff down. I've told y'all before, Target brought their prices down. Aldi brought their prices down. You stop going to these stores and spending your money, they'll lower those prices. But I hope they don't do anything to Whoopi because she said exactly how she feels. Somebody need to wake up and say something because a lot of people ain't been saying nothing. Kamala said she was going to stop price gouging. So price gouging is happening. So good luck, Whoopi. Like I said, you said it on your platform or whatsoever, and I don't think nobody should be mad. Like Wayne said, a hit dog will holler, and they hollering because they know they did wrong. They doing wrong. But that's all I got, Diva. That's it.
I appreciate you. E, you're in the building. Anything on this particular story?
Well, I didn't see first of all, hello. I didn't see the beginning. I just happened to be browsing through and I seen that you were on. And I'm going to drop down. I have an early morning, but I came in on Wayne talking. And if you ask me, Wayne was talking too real and too right. I'm not into policing and monitoring what a Black woman has to say. And like Katrina said, Trump and all of his lackeys get to say whatever they want to. I feel like, no, Whoopi called them greedy pigs, and she's correct. Greedy fat pigs. And yes, I feel like that language needs to continue because from the last I heard, as of today, I heard that prices have gone up even more so. So all these people who voted for the economy, it's only going to go up, 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 and more up, because Trump is not going to bring down the cost of any utilities. He's not going to bring down the cost of any groceries. I don't care how many times he got in front of the camera talking about some bacon is so high. We won't even know what bacon is in a minute come January 20th. So, no, I think Whoopi was talking too real and too right. And I feel like, no, we're not going to start this epidemic of policing what a Black woman has to say. And meanwhile, all the greedy fat pigs and the white men get to say whatever they want to say unrestricted. No way.
Woo, 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 woo. Okay. All right. Well, thank you, E, for popping through with that word and the people saying right and exactly. All right, y'all. So Whoopi, keep talking because the people are on your side and they're saying you are good. I'm gonna go ahead and roll into our next story. And our next story is really pulling heartstrings on me. And this is this I'll Be Sure plea to Quincy. And Quincy told him back in 2009, I missed you. I needed you. Where were you? And now in his 30s, here he is, but he's still not actually physically talking to his son. He's talking to us and trying to help us help him via the social media. Let me go back in time and take you to 2009 when he talks about, let me just get to this. When he talks in an open letter to his father, this is Quincy to I'll Be Sure back in 2009. So Quincy Brown, a letter to my father, I'll Be Sure. This was April 15, 2009. It's no secret that Quincy Brown, Kim Porter's oldest son, doesn't have a really good relationship with his biological father, Albert I'll Be Sure Brown. And the letter below, written by Quincy, cites incidents where his father was missing in his life, but goes on to thank Diddy for loving him unconditionally, as a father should, and molding him into the person he is today. We give Mr. Sean Combs John a lot of S for his antics, but one good thing we can say about him is that he at least take care of his kids. And they made a joke. They said all 30 of them. So this is Quincy, a letter to my father. I've been inspired throughout my life by special circumstances and unique experiences. Foremost, I grew up with a family that injected me with unconditional love and enduring confidence. This is my foundation. The family holidays and celebrations with my maternal lineage. Supported smiles and audiences at school programs. Guiding hands to complete homework and special projects in the wee hours of the morning. However, I grew up without my father, an irreplaceable force and influence that was absent in my life. I watched other kids enjoy the embrace of theirs, and I searched for a way to reconcile the meaning of my circumstance. Despite my pain, I imagined a life as a good son with my father. Baseball, playing in the school band, church, all of the things that he would expect his son to do, I've done. I stood in front of audiences to receive awards. I heard the applause and praise, but the accolades have been absent. The sound of his clapping hands and encouraging words, his voice that I could distinguish in my sleep. Where has he been? Now reflect on the journey, the pain, the challenges, and the triumphs through this song. I reconciled as a man, no longer a boy, in verse. Now I know that I'm not alone. Albert Brown, also known as I'll Be Sure, is my biological father, but Sean Combs, also known as Diddy, has been a father figure in my life for as long as I can remember. Sean Combs is a person who I look up to and appreciate as a father. He is the one who helped mold me into the person I am today, and I will always try to live up to his expectations. He has always been supportive of me, and I will forever love and respect him. As far as my biological father goes, the spitting image is all I have taken from him. Throughout my life, I've always wondered about him. Where was he? What was he doing? And most importantly, was he even thinking about me? The absence of my father has given me a better understanding of what type of man I'm going to be. I'm grateful for my mom's love, support, guidance, and for her strength. To those who share my plight, know that you have a great future, a destiny. Take the lemons that you are handed and make lemonade. Your journey is in a letter to my father, Quincy IQ Brown. He wrote that in 2009. Now let me share a screen and show you what Albie Shore said in his stories. Nothing breaks a dad more than seeing his love for his kids turn into a weapon against him. Hashtag free Quincy. And then he got at the very end, dads matter everywhere. So it looks like, and then over here, the Neighborhood Talk wrote, it looks like he's still sending messages to Quincy via Insta stories. I'll be sure to tell him since he, I'll be sure to tell him since he blocked you. So I guess Quincy blocked his own dad. Somebody said, where was the energy when Quincy wrote that open letter about his absence 15 years ago? And somebody said, the ship has sailed, dog. Somebody else wrote, this is probably why that boy don't want to deal with him. Wasn't completely there for him as a kid and want him to turn his back on the man who raised him. Somebody else wrote, because you keep coming to the internet, sir, this man has siblings from his mom he's very close with. What do you expect him to do? When Kim was alive, why weren't you going as hard as you are going for him now? This is serious. Julius, your thoughts?
I stand with Quincy on this. Where were you, sir? Before your big medical emergency. You want all the sympathy in the world because you went through that medical emergency. But Quincy wrote and he said, why weren't you there? Was I not good enough?
Mm.
Did you not think that I matter?
Mm.
But you only see me as the prize now because my mom is gone. So let me tell you about the man that raised me. And I'm going to give Diddy credit here. He is a damn good father. Quincy is 1 year older than me. I'm 31. He's 32. Quincy was raised by Diddy. As far as I'm concerned, that is his son. That part there, I never questioned. That is who Quincy knows as Pops, who will be the grandchildren of Quincy's kids when he chooses to have them. Al B can't say squat. You didn't try. But why try now when he's fully grown and Kim Porter's out the way? I don't know. Now I'm questioning. Was that quote-unquote memoir really fake? Or did it said some truth that you want to say that now fake cease and desist with? Let's sit and reflect on that. That's it. That's all.
Thank you. Katrina, your thoughts?
My thoughts are we don't know if Diddy tried to blackmail this man or keep him away from his child. And Diddy might have provided for them like monetarily, but no man that hits your mom is a good father. How can he hit somebody who gave them life or gave your kids life? So when he abusing Kim, he's not a good father because you're abusing the mother of your kids. And if I see that a woman's with a man and he beating on this woman and doing all this type of stuff, that's not a good father. A good father won't do anything to hurt the person that gave you life. So I don't see him being a good father. And the thing with Quincy and Albie Shore, maybe it was like you said, Diva, maybe it's a reason that he wasn't around. Maybe did he punish them or blackmailed him or said something to him. But as far as I knew, I thought that Quincy grew up with his grandmother, and maybe he should have made arrangement to go see him then. But we don't know the circumstances, and why did Kim keep him away from his child? Because she was the mom. She could have said, well, this is his dad and he needs to spend time with his father. She could have made that arrangement as well. So was it a reason why he wasn't allowed to be around his child? And like I said, did he? I mean, I'm not saying that he didn't take care of his kids monetarily, but as being a good father won't have all these allegations on him about the things that he's done, or that we don't know that he's done. Allegedly, the things that he's done, he wouldn't put his kids through all that because he know at one point in time he could be caught or taken away. And so I don't. I'm not saying that they don't have love for him or he don't have love for them, but the things that you did or the things that people are accusing you of is that's not love. That's not showing your kids love. But who am I? But that's all I got, Eva.
Whew, thank you, Katrina. You're up.
Well, when Al Beecher said dads matter everywhere, I said to myself, oh, this fool voted for Trump. That's what Trump wants you to believe. Dads matter everywhere. It's all over Project 2025. And I keep telling y'all, dads do not matter everywhere. No more than grandparents, mothers, and siblings matter everywhere. No, the ones that matter are the ones who love you unconditionally, who have been there for you, and who you can pick up the phone and they will answer when you call. So I keep telling y'all, in times like these, we must exercise self-preservation and only include people around you that will be beneficial to your mental health. And when I hear the terms dads matter everywhere, it translates to me as entitlement, ego, and I'm not sorry. You just need to. I'm your dad, so you do what I say. It's something about that that really rubs me the wrong way, and I really take exception with the notion that, what's his name? Sean Combs must be an exceptional father. No, he's garbage. He has thrown money at these children. His checkbook has raised them. Because there's something, and I don't like quoting the Bible, but it says fathers should instruct and discipline their children in the Lord's way. And I don't think that Sean has done that, not with the cases that have been piled up against, what's the one? Christian, and what's the other one? What's the light skin? Justin. These people were on the lawn with their hands behind their head, and they were being escorted by Homeland Security just like he was. So I'm not giving him Father of the Year. He does what most deadbeat fathers have done. He slapped his last name on him and he paid his child support and let him live with them. That's it. When the Homeland Security raided the home, we saw on the video cameras, that house was a damn mess. Okay. Even with maids, treating people any old kind of way, not teaching these children how to be successful. Now, when he's behind bars, you got the oldest son, Christian, fighting with the grandmother over who's going to take custody over the Instagram page. Lies. This is not someone who has orchestrated consistency and structure and compassion in their household. And so Quincy doesn't know who he is. I've said that before. Quincy doesn't know who he is. He doesn't know where to turn. And because the bulk of his siblings come from Diddy, because his mother had more children with Diddy than she did with Al, he feels some sense of anchor to Sean because the girls are there and his brother is there. And they do operate as a mob, but that's just because they have more money. I'll be sure his other children don't operate in unity the same way that the Combs children does. So I do believe that Quincy feels some sense of family as it relates to those siblings. However, he knows who Sean is. All of these people are not lying on him. It is embarrassing. And I do feel like, as the oldest son, Quincy is following in the footsteps of his mother, who chose to be loyal to this man up until her death. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. Sorry. Up until her last days, due to her own detriment. And he doesn't know what it's like to stand up against this man and turn away, because his mother didn't do it. And how awful must Al have been for Kim to say, rather than have my son know who you are, rather than force a relationship with you, I'll keep him around this man who has broken my nose, blackened my eye, financially abused me, and taunted me with this high yellow thing running around here. So no, they're both deplorable. Not one is better than the other. And I'm not going to choose the lesser of two evils when evil is evil. Not in the era of a Trump administration will I say that one man is better than the other. Put them both together. And like Felicia said, put the trash out.
Woo! Woo, woo, woo. Thank you, E. In my opinion, your thoughts?
Hey, so I just came up here for this story right here. But this is what I wanted to say. I feel like this is something that we would never understand, because we don't know the dynamics that has happened between Quincy, I'll be sure, Kim Porter, and Diddy. We've all heard the rumors of how Diddy threatened I'll be sure, allegedly. We all know the stuff that Diddy has done to his children, allegedly. We all know the rumors that happened to Kim Porter, allegedly. I just feel like this is one of those situations where they need to be in counseling. Take us out the group chat. If you really want your daddy in your life, if you want to know those answers, y'all need to go to a therapist. Sit down on the couch and figure out what is missing in y'all life and how y'all can fix it now. You can't go back in the past and fix something that's already happened. It's over.
Come on.
One day you got to get up off that couch and quit being sorry for yourself. Okay? You want to make a difference, then make a difference. But you ain't gonna make a difference living in the past. We don't know what happened. We don't, because we didn't have to live that. But I do know that there's two sides to every story, sometimes three. Okay? But what y'all need to really realize is, if Al B. Sure really wants to be in this man's life, because he's a man now, then Al B. Sure needs to be a man about it and get a therapist on the line and say, look, I want to connect with my son. I haven't had a good relationship with him. I haven't been as present as I needed to be. You need to take accountability. Step up and be a man about it. And Quincy, instead of writing us a letter and airing it out on social media, you and your dad need to take a list, go sit down on the couch and be grown about it. Because let's be clear, if Diddy is the man you looking up to, you ain't looking too high for a man.
Whew. Dustin, your thoughts?
You know, this story hits close to home for me, David. As you know, I've shared my story on here plenty of times. So I just have I understand it more, David. I understand his situation more, because there are some situations that you cannot repair, and I feel like, because I cannot repair what happened in my life, so I don't think my situation is not repairable. It's really hurtful to me, so I understand where he's coming from. So there are certain things that happened in your past that cannot be repaired, Miss Steven. And I do understand that, because it's very hurtful to me to this day. And like I shared before, this is why the way that I am today.
Well, Dustin, I appreciate you for sharing. Yeah, the letter is from 2009. And yeah, he wrote the letter when he was much younger. He was a teenager. So
and And I will say it again, just make sure everybody hears me. My situation, he didn't want nothing to do with me because of my disability, and that weighs heavy on me every day. So if it wasn't for my best friend Diva, I don't know where I would be without my best friend right by my side as always.
Thank you for sharing, Dustin. And I'm so sorry that that happened to you. But I would say similar to what everybody just move for me, please. Similar to what Quincy said in his open letter. He said, "You're not alone. You're not alone." He understands that plight, the yearning and the wanting for your dad to be there. And again, I know in our mind, oh, Diddy's a derelict. Diddy did this. Diddy did that. He had nobody else. He had nobody else. And so Diddy was the father figure that his mother, we can't just blame this on him. God rest her soul. But this is the father figure that his mother put in his life. And that's why I say over here often, be careful. If you are a single mother, who you bring in front of your kids. It's critical. It's crucial. What is he supposed to think? You love and trust your mother. This is the person your mother brought before you as a father figure. He's your twins and your other brother's father. Watch what you put in it. I gotta delete that comment, Chanel Reality. Everybody watch what you put in the chat. So we gotta understand that. You gotta understand where he's at, where he's standing. E, you wanted to say something before I move forward?
Yes. No, we don't need to understand that. The problem is you have been conditioned, not you. He has been conditioned to believe that this man is God. He can move the world. He can make the impossible possible. And one thing that we do know, and I can say from experience, God looks out for all fatherless children. And so if you were surrounded by men who were less than worthy of your unconditional love, you have to cut it off and redirect that energy and seek something higher than that. You have to look towards something greater, and you cannot stay stuck at eye level that this is the only father I've seen. This is my sibling's father. No. It started early, but the only way to repair this is to cut it off at the head and begin anew. He needs to get away from those siblings. He needs to get away from what that man has built and stand in his own lane and in his own identity. As the people said in the chat, this boy wrote this letter when he was still a teenager. At that time, he was going by the name Quincy Combs. Now it's coming out. Now, maybe he was using that name for entertainment purposes, but now he's switched the name to Quincy Brown. He was never going by Quincy Brown before. People were under the impression that Diddy had adopted this child. And no, his name is still Brown. And so my thing is, I told y'all months back he should have changed the name to Porter and honored your mother and stood in that and made anew. So he's going to be conflicted, walking around with one man's last name and then standing in another man's image. He needs to get away from both of them.
He does. I will agree with you, Chanel. Reality is easier said than done.
Oh, Chanel, hush.
you know, it is. I've seen adults. I mean, I've seen grown adults come to tears over, you know, things that happen in their childhood and being rejected by a parent. You know what story breaks my heart before I roll into this last story? That
Diva, you skipped Wayne. I'm sorry. You skipped Wayne.
Because okay, wait.
Oh.
Yeah, your thoughts. Thank you, Katrina. Go ahead, your thoughts.
Well, mine is pretty much like everybody else. And it's kind of hard on these kind of stories to comment because you really don't know. I mean, you hear these stories about how Diddy threatens people. You know, Kim Porter, you know, marries into money. and Al Hit was pretty much a one-hit wonder. I think a couple songs, you know. But Kim Porter, like you said, rest her soul. I mean, if she had to take her son says, hey, you know, I'm going to make an effort. It takes both of them. But if the other one didn't, you do it if you really want him. You know, because if Albie Shore wasn't abusive or anything like that, you know, then Quincy needs to see both of them. Okay, this is my real father. This is my stepfather. Okay, and yeah, he's a stepfather. You are expected to do those. You know, he's living in your house, but at the same time, you don't take away the identity of the real father. So I don't know if anything transpired between Diddy and Albie Shore. Look, you stay out of his life or whatever, blah, 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 blah. But he's 30 now. If he's serious about having a relationship with his father, if it's no more than, if it doesn't turn into a father-son, you know, because he's grown. If it's just like, hey, I respect you, you birthed me, you know, we can have some kind of relationship. You know, so it takes two to tango. It can't be just one way.
I agree with you on that, Rain. It takes two to tango, but and like you said, there was more responsibility on his mother, and again, God rest her soul, as he was growing up, for there to be something, and it does take two to tango. But he said in his own teenage years, he said, I long for my father. I long for my father, and he wasn't there. What do you want from this boy? And now I would be conflicted too. This is my sibling's father. The twins who no longer have their mother, their father's behind bars, and his brother Christian. All of these kids are struggling. The one that has a moment to have the right mindset is Baby Love. But in right, wrong, and different, I don't know how Baby Love is really going to pan out in this, because Baby Love mother is 10 toes down, keeping her in the mix of this confusion. And I say it lightly. I'm not saying I can't tell this woman what to do, not do, run away, stay, whatever. But I do know this: she's 10 toes down in the mix of it.
One word: money.
Well, listen, if we want to do money, all of these situations we're hearing about, the root of it is money. The root of it is money. I'm telling you right now, I'll go to the lightest case scenario right now, right? And I'll go to Little Rod's case. If Little Rod came to Diva House and was working, by Friday, if I was supposed to pay Little Rodney and I didn't have his money, you think he coming back on Monday? He may come back on Monday to see if I got his money, but he ain't going to work for me no whole year and I didn't pay him. Not doing it. So a lot of these people, they endured what they endured. They stayed because of fame, notoriety, of being around somebody that had a name, and money. I don't even know anybody that goes to their regular job, and if after 30 days they didn't get a check, they still showing up there.
Nobody, Diva. I would be sure if I had a regular job, which I can't work because of my disability. But if I had a regular job, I wouldn't be showing up to work without no check in 30 days. Are you kidding me?
Nobody would. So that's the issue of it all, and that's the problem. But I do feel for them. I wish that Albie Shore, as the father, would take a different route with this. I really wish he would. And the route I feel he needs to take is to be understanding, loving, and let Quincy know, listen, be there for your siblings. If you still, I'm not going to tell you, because let's just pretend somebody told Quincy not to care about Al B. Shore. I'm not going to now be Al B. Shore and tell Quincy don't care about Diddy. Not going to do it. This man was in your life and he was a part of your life. I would tell him, if anything, tread lightly, be careful, because I don't want you to get caught up on no charges. But be there for your siblings. You can still respectfully, you're a grown man. If that's who you want to support him. But I'll let you know this. No matter what time, what day you knock on my door, I'm not turning you away. I'm not going to say I told you so. I'm not going to say you should have been here. Whatever day or time you knock on my door and you need me, I'm here for you. But not only this, this would be me in grown. I'm here for your siblings too. That's what I would do. But that's me. Let him know that you're here no matter what. And not only am I here for you, the door is open for you and your siblings. Let's roll into the last story. The last story is Ray J, who also, and he was raised by his parents, but he needs an intervention. And this is Diva talking. He needs an intervention. And he needs one now. And would somebody tell me what Ray J mom and dad name is? I forgot. The Norwoods, I want to say. Wake up. Come see about your son, because the last thing you want to see is him not to be here anymore. And we need him here. He got 2 kids. Imagine what Princess Love went through. You know, like, come on, Sonia Norwood. You know, a lot of people, they talked about Princess. But you see how Ray J is on these streets? And I don't know if y'all saw the video. I think so too, Chanel, to be honest with you. I don't know if y'all saw the video with the kids crying, and he telling the kids that mommy and daddy was just making a movie. Everything is all good. You didn't see mommy, daddy hit mommy. He needs an intervention. Or perhaps rehab too. But he needs help. And all of these shenanigans, he is crying out for help. I believe this interview he did with Pastor Jamal Bryant, because it's something about when the people get the mic in front of their face and they get loose and they just hanging out, you forget this lights, camera, action, and now something naturally is coming out your mouth. And he like, oops, I said that. I didn't mean to say that. I didn't mean to say this. And he wanted them to cut it out. And apparently, according to Jamal Bryant's response, which you have to read in between the lines, he agreed to cut it out. But Ray J felt the need to turn on that camera. You know, social media is a blessing and a curse. He felt the need to turn on that camera and get the run in his mouth. Then he came back later. Somebody tried to pow him. He's all over the place. But I need the Norwoods to step up. Brandy, don't give up on your brother. That's your brother. You share the womb. Not at the same time, but just share the womb via your mother. It's your brother. I don't care what goes down in life. I'm going to always go see about my sisters and my brother. I don't give a darn what nobody else say. I don't care what they did. I don't care what happened. I'm going to go see about my sisters and my brother. People give up so easily. And we'll take it back to the Bible for a minute. If you look in the Bible about forgiveness, it says forgive over and over and over and over and over again. See about your kids. Let's get into this story. Hold on one second.
Alvarez. But if y'all play that interview, somebody getting snatched off the pulpit. Don't play the interview. It's not clear. It was out of bounds. Me and Pastor Bryant need to talk because the way I was treated was dirty and illegal. And I don't like it. And I don't want nobody to play that fucking interview. I don't care if you from the church or not. Like be respectful and do people right. Don't call people out their name and don't make people feel like they're not safe in a place where they thought they were safe. I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you right now, we need to work it out. Because if we don't, that's going to be a problem. Got nothing but love for Pastor Bryant. Shout out to Jamal Bryant. Shout out to Von Alvarez. But if y'all play that interview, somebody getting snatched off the pulpit, don't play the interview. It's not clear. It was out of bounds.
He for the streets. He for the streets. Let me share the screen so we can look at Jamal Bryant's response. So this is Jamal Bryant's response. I was so grateful to recently interview one of the fave matrices of this generation at Ray J, who has been more than impactful in many different fields. It was both surprising and disheartening to wake up to unfounded threats and baseless accusations directed at me. As part of our commitment to honest dialogue, we ensured that specific comments with potential legal ramifications were edited out of the interview to safeguard the best interests of a brother beloved. Our at Jamal Bryant podcast mission is to foster authentic and constructive conversations with thought leaders, and this episode was no exception. We are live to tape production that ordinarily makes no edits. However, in the spirit of brotherhood, it was nixed with the agreement that no other adjustments would be made as the Jamal Bryant podcast, let's be clear, endeavors to be earnest and transparent on every episode. Though private agreements have now been brought into the public eye, I refuse to be embroiled in a battle that demeans our community and all that I stand for. I love my brother unconditionally and stand on my agreed promise, grace and peace to all. So Tamika Foster asked, when we did our interview, no matter what you asked, I answered it truthfully, and I stand behind anything I said. This is very confusing. Love to you. I'm sorry this is happening. So let me say something. There are people, now y'all know I'm not huge over here, but I have had some interviews and people say things to me before. Sometimes they have emailed me things. And y'all notice even on this panel, if something goes left, I shut it down immediately. If something goes left, I do an immediate shutdown. So my thing is, this is for me. I'm just talking about the diva right now. My thing is, I never want anybody to incriminate themselves. I never want anybody to say something that they might regret. And I never want anybody to slip up, say something, and then they like, oh my God, later on, I wish I never said that. So with that being said, I'm taking it as Ray J got a little loosey-goosey with the lips during this interview. And when he had clarity of the mind, he was like, oh my God, what did I say and what did I do? And as a result, he wanted just the whole interview not to be played. But I'm also taking it from the way that Jamal Bryant responded was that they already spoke about it. And he told Ray J, I acknowledge it and I'm going to cut it out. But Ray J was still stewing over it and woke up and decided to be gangster on the Instagram and say once again, y'all better not play the interview at all. It's messy. Julius, your thoughts?
Ray J need to pipe down somewhere. I got run with, even, sexy can't, that don't have the same effect. Ray J, sit down somewhere. Sit down somewhere. You wonder why your own sister want nothing to do with you. Yes. Does she have her own history? Yes. But you wonder why your sister especially don't want nothing to do with you. But I'm saying this to invoke Elder Mama Norwood. Miss Sonia. Miss Sonia. Come on now. You from the region of Macomb, Brookhaven, Jackson, all that in Mississippi. Come on now. You need to knock this man upside his head and for him to get a clue. You better put him over your knee and whack him one good time so he can get a clue. Because he ain't big dog. He ain't big dog. Because his babies know what he was doing because they were so frightened of him. If I may, I'm not saying this to belittle the babies. I'm just using it as an example. His babies know what he is like. He is a clown. So Miss Sonia, Mr. Willie, y'all from Macomb, Mississippi. And y'all better use some of that southern left and right hooks and get him all the way together. That's it. That's all. Hit the like button, y'all.
Thank you. Wayne, your thoughts?
He better hope and pray nothing happens to that man. Because he just said, pretty much not confess, but he would be the first one they would look to. Because he pretty much threatened the man. Talking about pulling somebody out the pulpit. Not only that, he talking all that talk. And I was online one night and I saw him on a live with Nicki Minaj. And Nicki Minaj walked him like a dog. He was begging. She
So
said,
did
don't call me.
Monica.
She said, don't call me. I don't know what it was. I just had to run across it. She said, don't call me Nicki. You call me Miss, whatever her name is. Call me Miss Petty. And he was begging, I'm a barb, all this stuff. She walked him like a dog and talked to him like a dog. So, but he got all his mouth now. Okay, don't write a check. What's that saying? Don't write a check that your mouth can't cash it out, whatever.
I appreciate you, Wayne. Katrina, your thoughts?
Okay, now I see why he's friends with the orange face man. And the way that he's going about acting reckless, just like the orange face man. Like Wayne said, you made a threat against a person on a public platform. You know all your brain cells is not working. And why didn't you just call? Like, I don't know if he did it or not. Why you just didn't call Jamal and just told him? You didn't have to tell us. We didn't even have to know all this. If you talk to him like a man supposed to do, then that probably would have been taken care of. Because I can't see Jamal doing anything to set out to try to mess up your life. So, like you said, Ray didn't need help. His family tried to help him, but they don't need to turn their back on him. But maybe it's Whitney Ghost riding his back, the reason why he acting all crazy. But anyway, maybe hopefully he'll go to rehab and get some help or something. But now I see why he's friends with the orange face man. They both got the same agenda. They crazy. That's all I got, Diva.
Thank you. E, your thoughts?
Well, I'm on the car alone, and I don't mind. Let me break this down my way. Ray J called Pastor Holy Whore on the phone. And when he was not able to reach him, he went live and said, if you play that interview, you're getting snatched out of the pulpit. It's going to be a problem. Swiss cheese, as the young people would say. And we already know Ray J is affiliated, and he's backed by Whack 100 and his people, the money team, the schoolyard, or whatever the set is, West Side. And Pastor Holy Whore's response to all of that was to oblige to the public intimidation, what I would call a shakedown, and bend the rules. Because in Jamal's response, he said, we ordinarily do not make edits. But after saying he would snatch you out of the pulpit, now all of a sudden he's willing to make the edit. So God does not run the pulpit, okay? Ray J and the money team runs the pulpit with the 50 Rolls Royces outside. See, Ray J has a new birth shook, because if you have the pastor shook and he's at the top of the organization, then you got the people shook. Okay, so that church, they need to rename it. It should be called Ray J Church from now on. So people in Lithonia, Georgia, where the new birth is located, I'm just going to start calling y'all Ray J Church from now on. He threw out, I was mishandled, and the approach was illegal. But the way that he responded and the way that he wanted to de-escalate the matter was to incite more illegal actions of snatching out Holy Whore with the big D out of the pulpit. Now, let's be clear. Ray J is a Trump supporter. Thank you, Katrina, for mentioning that, because in my mind, whatever Ray J is going through, it is self-inflicted, it's asinine, egregious, and a below moral compass. And at the beginning of the package, it was stated, we care about Ray J, and he has 2 kids that love him and need him. Oh, no. Let's be real. Without him, those kids will be much better off. From what Princess has said, he's an absentee father anyway. And he throws his checkbook at them kids. He slapped his last name on them. And as far as he's concerned, he considers it a job well done. I have not forgotten about Ray J allegedly pimping Tierra Marie out. I haven't forgotten that. I haven't forgotten about Ray J peddling substances to Whitney allegedly. It's crazy to me how all of the women who Ray J gets involved with, after he's done with them, they end up on substances. Tierra Marie with her alcohol addiction and smoking whatever else, and then Whitney. And I haven't forgotten the interview that Ray J had done. I can't remember if it was with the Breakfast Club or if it was with Whack 100, and somebody asked him about Whitney being clean, and Ray J responded, Whitney will be clean as long as I want Whitney to be clean. I interpreted that a different way. And I'm not lost on that note that Brandy accepted from Whitney. Whitney passed to Brandy. Don't know what's going on, but I know Ray J and Brandy were the last people to see Whitney allegedly. And I do have a problem with that. And so, yes, you're on substances. I believe it. I'll say allegedly. Your family doesn't want anything to do with you. You've embarrassed the family. You brought shame to the family. They wanted to come out and be like the Black Cosbys before Bill stained the name of the Cosbys. And then here you come. You got a Grammy Award winning sister who done put you on Moesha, put you on a syndicated series, and then here you come with the SEX tape with Kim Kardashian. This is what you do to the family name? Your sister is around the world. She was the first Black Cinderella. She was a Barbie. And then here you come with Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. This is what you do. This is who he is. And so it's not lost on me that Willie Norwood Sr. didn't properly and thoroughly get Ray J together when it was time. You got to straighten the branch when it's young. Ray J was allowed to be homeschooled. He was sleeping with the tutors. This is what he said out of his own mouth, but I say allegedly. They pushed the boy through school, and then you gave him money, and then it stunted his growth. He's never going to mature. He still acts the same way he did back when Monica snatched his sister up and decked her on stage at the VMA Awards. He's still the same boy. He's still 16 years old, even though he's 40-something years old with 2 children. It hasn't dawned on him that he has to mature, he has to elevate, he has to rise to the occasion. And to think your father sings gospel music. So this is what you've done to the name. This is what he's done. And this is what Jamal Bryant and New Birth, this is what these people want to bow down to. What happened to following God and letting the chips fall where they may? What is this fear? What happened to fearing no man? What happened to that? I'll tell you one thing. It's not what you say. It's not what you do. It's how you do it. It's how you say it. And I'm telling you, Pastor Holy Whore is better than me, because had Ray J went live and told me, he would have snatched me out of the pulpit and it would have been a problem. Well, it just would have been a problem then. It would have been a big problem, and he would have had to come see me. He would have had to come and see me, because now you're going to have to prove it. Okay? You talk a big game, now you got to show me. And so Jamal Bryant and New Birth, y'all just been punked. And to everybody who's sending in their tithe money, shame on you. If I were you, I start sending it to Ray J, because Ray J is in charge of New Birth Church from here on out. Shout out to Lithonia, Georgia. What site?
Well, there you have it. He has spoken. Okay. He has spoken. He has spoken. In touch with E. Check her out on YouTube. She has spoken. Good gosh almighty. Dustin, your thoughts?
You can skip me, Diva. I don't have any thoughts on this part.
Okay, no problem.
Thank you.
Thank you. Child, well, you know, and I mean, I'm not mad at the people, but you know, everybody has a podcast now. And so he has a podcast, and he need people to interview. And so he got Ray J. But my thing is, just like, I don't know if y'all saw that, I want to say her name is Andrea English. I hope I'm pronouncing her name correctly. She is one of Diddy's accusers. And so Lionel B interviewed her twice so far. And listen, you get the interview. I'm not, you know, kudos to him. He did his interview did very well in numbers. But her part two, she clearly seemed like she was under some influence to me. I could be wrong. And what are we doing? So I don't know, because we haven't seen it. I don't know if we're ever going to see it. I don't know what Ray J's state was in this interview he did with Jamal Bryant, but we have to ask ourselves, you know, they said too much is given, much is required, right? So when you're doing certain things, you have to ask yourself, do I go down this road, or do I let this one go? There's some stories that come to me, I'm like, I'm gonna let this one go. I'm just, somebody else can have that. You understand? Just like there's some information I got about a recent story that's out there, that's a reliable source gave it to me. And I was just like, you know what? I ain't even gonna go there. I'm just not going to go there. And I even told the person, I said, I appreciate you and I thank you for trusting me and giving me the information. And I gave a little bit of it out, but what I gave out, the person told me no problem. But I wasn't going to put all of it out there. Now, you know me, once it hit a news outlet, then it's open game to me. But there's some things I'm not going to be the one to put that thing out there. So, and Jamal Bryant, he's on a whole nother level to me. He's a whole pastor. So I would just think, because of his position also, there would be certain things that he'd be like, you know what, I'll take a pass because of who he is, right? And when you come to the church traditionally, it's about healing, it's about saving your soul, and it's about bringing you to the light. And so clearly, forget about what he might have saw the day that he was interviewing Ray J. Clearly, because of his previous antics, you know that he's sitting in darkness right now. So I don't know. My focus just would have been different, but that's me. But go ahead, E.
I see some new birth members have entered the chat, and someone misunderstood me. They keep saying, well, Lithonia isn't on the west side. Excuse me. I know exactly where Lithonia is. When I said west side, I was talking about Ray J. He's bringing the west side to New Birth. That's what I meant. So I need everybody to connect the dots. Let's have a level 3 conversation. Thank you. Choo choo.
Oh God, choo choo. In my opinion, I see you came back in the building. Is it something you wanted to add?
Yes. So Sonya and Richard Willie Norwood ruined both of their children. Okay, none of them is. Here's the thing. Okay, for all that is out there, Brenda ain't clean either. Let's not forget she ran over somebody. So both of those kids are messed up.
Oh, good gosh.
And that lets me know Sonya is the manager for both of them.
Okay.
And it makes me wonder what was they going through in that household.
Ooh.
All I'm gonna say is if you're lucky enough to have children or you are around children, please train your children, raise them in a way that they grow up and they won't be so shameful on their knee. Trust me, good parenting does work. And you don't have to be a parent to parent somebody's child.
Well, you ended with a whole word right there, girlfriend. I appreciate you. Okay. 100%. I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody on the panel for coming through. It was some rough topics. And I'll say, you know what, to Quincy, and I'll be sure, I pray y'all get this thing together. Ray J, the Norwoods, I need y'all to help your brother / your son out, okay? And Whoopi Goldberg, the people have spoken. They said everybody else talk, so you free to talk your talk. And you know what? On that note, I ain't mad at them. Listen, guys, y'all know the routine. If you didn't hit the like button on the way in, you hit that like button on the way out. Good night and goodbye, everybody. Choo choo.